Hey, hey, all you black people who didn't make it in the Black Panther, come here, we got you covered. You good.
Real cool dude.
Yo, what's good, real cool people? It's your boy David, the real cool dude, coming at you with another movie review. Today we will be discussing the first Purge. Man, this movie took me by surprise. Hey, before we get too deep into the chocolatey goodness, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. If you happen to be unaware of the rules of this Purge cinematic universe, this is how it goes down. For 12 straight hours, one day out of the entire year, all crime becomes legal. In other words, Donald Trump's wet dream. Okay, anyway. This movie, I really want to talk political because it touches on some very relevant political things, but I'll spare you. Straight out the gate, this movie hits you with some pretty solid character development for all of the participating folks that we will be following through this Purge journey. There's this character in the film that we get introduced to in the beginning that they call Skeletor. And to describe Skeletor, I'd say for all of you DC comic book fans, he is the black version of the Batman villain Zsasz. The interesting thing about this movie was that it felt a whole lot like a Black Mirror episode. Not to say that the other films didn't, but this content is so much more relevant and, dare I say, woke compared to the other films. You see, back when the first films were made, you never would have thought this could be a reality. But with this current administration, stop going political. All right. Okay. I really dug the realism that they brought to this film. It really brings some solid realism to the communities and the issues within the Latino blacks. Stop it with the Trump crap. What's really funny is we get a close-up on one of the workers for the government agency that's making the purge happen, and I swear, they got an Omarosa look-alike. Blumhouse was going in with some of these connections that they made. I'm telling you, this movie is like one of the most woke movies I have seen in 2018. And I saw you, Blumhouse. I saw you trying to be slick. In the boy's bedroom, the main boy we follow in this movie, that just so happens to be a poster for the new Halloween film coming out, produced by Blumhouse. Now, there were some things in this film that I thought were kind of dumb. Certain characters they introduce and they have them play out in a sequence later, and it's stupid. But they also do a lot of other sequences in this movie that I thought was pretty dope. Okay, another thing that was really cool about how they really dug into the realism of our communities, when the people in the communities realized the reality of their situation, they just turned up. And I'm positive that if the circumstances in this film happened in reality, the same thing would go down. They even tapped into the social media aspect of it. When the first kill in the first purge happens, it's all being tracked and recorded, and so it immediately gets uploaded to where people can see it. And it was insane, because they were like, yo, check the views on this video. Like, the connections to our reality were perfect. There were some images in this film, some imagery that was created that paralleled a lot of the unfortunate realities that we're dealing with today. I'm talking the stuff with the white supremacy groups. I'm talking the stuff with police brutality. I'm telling you, like, legit, this movie is woke. All this movie needed was Childish Gambino's This Is America to start playing, and I would have just been, like, dancing in my seat. As far as the acting is concerned, our lead characters were solid. I mean, I bought everything that they were selling to me. There were some additional side characters that they was just corny. It was Cinematography, this movie looked really good. And I have to point that out because there's a lot of times in movies where you get darker complexioned people, and you don't really see them. I'm sorry, because like I'm thinking about horror movies, and a lot of times you see in horror movies it's like maybe like a light skinned or something person because it's easier, I guess, to light in the darker environment. It's so bad. But in all seriousness, this movie looked really, really good. They introduced some tech that's utilized by the people participating in the Purge, and the tech itself had this really cool effect on their looks. Again, I don't want to dig too much into any kind of spoiler territory, but it added for some really good spooky, creepy imagery. The plot in this movie is very similar to the plot in the other movies. The thing that makes this movie different is the realities of our community that they introduce into this film in a much better way than the last one did. And I mean, obviously, because of the chocolatey goodness, I can relate to a lot of the things that were present in this film. And it makes this film, I guess, all the more special to me. I feel like everyone who likes the Purge movies will like this movie, and I really hope you go out to support this one. And for all of my chocolatey people, I don't care if you're brown, I don't care if you're black, whatever, please go check out this movie. They did a really solid job of portraying our community and the reality of how we would respond to a situation like this. And also tackling some of those issues that we have with the government and our current administration. Overall, this film is pretty solid. It's gotta be the third or maybe now even second favorite of mine in this entire Purge franchise. I really love the second film, and this one is like right there underneath. As far as the action and the horror and the gore and all of that goodness goes, they didn't tackle on too much goriness. They tried to do more of scary sequences and sequences with jump scares, which I'm not a fan of, but there was one sequence in particular that was sick. It harkened very much to Punisher and or Daredevil. It was the simulated one take that took place on a stairwell, very similar to Daredevil on Netflix. But man, to see this brother go in, I mean, it was like watching a Black Rambo. I loved it. And that's my time, people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, don't forget to hook your boy up with that like button. And if you like all the chocolatey goodness, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Real Cool Dude, REEL Cool Dude. Y'all know the deal. As usual, my real cool people, you are wonderful. Thanks for joining me on this review journey. As always, it's your boy David, the Real Cool Dude. Keep it real.
Hollywood lights, out here living the dream. I'm the chocolate man who loves silver screens. Giving movie reviews is the thing I do, cause I'm the real cool dude. Haha.